Okay,
You are live now.
I can go,
Hello,
right?
Emmanuel, please. I think we'll do a little bit of introduction before you begin your section. And I
Oh,
think the moderator for this section, yes. So the moderator for this section would be Chidima and Bless. Yeah. Then before we begin, I think we would expect um our audience to be present first before we can
okay.
begin the get. So just a little bit of time. Just give us a few minutes, then we can start. Thank
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the second session of EBL 3.0 Masterclass. I'm sure you had a great time in the first session, and yes, it was really awesome. I learned a lot from Hilda Krager about employability skills and all of that. So right about now, we have Emmanuel Faith in the building. Yay! And yes, he's here already. So we'll be taking his bio now, briefly, before he comes up. Thank you very much. A human resource professional and employability skills trainer. He's an associate of the Chartered Institute Personnel of Management, and he formerly worked as a process analyst at General Electric. He was nominated as one of the top 25 Nigerians to follow on LinkedIn by Gary Abenge. He's the author of Chronicles of an Intern, a self-help book on how to optimize internships in mapping out a career path. He enjoys reading and writing and has read 200 books in the last 2 years. At leisure, he writes poetry, book reviews, and he recently published a poetry chapbook titled Lagos Doesn't Sleep. Ladies and gentlemen, make welcome Emmanuel Faith.
Hi,
Yay!
everyone.
Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome. I'm very happy to be here. How are we doing?
I'm fine. Thank you. You look good. Thank you.
You're welcome, right? I'm so happy to be here.
Yes,
Okay, great. So I want to be sure that you can hear me clearly and that my voice is not
yes,
echoing.
I can hear you clearly. And I'm sure other persons can too.
Oh, okay, great. Yes, so I'll kick off straight up, right?
Thank you. Yes. Thank you so much.
Okay, I'm very excited to be here, and I would be talking about the employable graduate. And I think that's quite a fascinating topic to talk about, especially when you look at the rising unemployment rate and other statistics that scare us. I mean, the norm we hear is that, oh, there's no job and everything, but then you see people, graduating from school, getting internship with reputable companies, and having a continuous trajectory, right? A very accelerating trajectory. So I had people that They graduated from school, starting out with KPMG, go to McKinsey, then from then to Bank of America. You are thinking in your head, how did these people do it? Didn't we go to Unibank together? But these people they've been able to master some principles and apply those principles. And that's what we'll be talking about today. So are we ready?
Yes, we are ready. We are ready, 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 ready.
Okay, great. So I'll start now. Please kindly confirm that you can see my slide.
Yes, yes, I can.
Oh, okay, great. So by the way, before I continue, is there going to be oh, wow, my network?
Sorry, I didn't get that. What did you say?
Oh, I was just basically asking if how the question and answer session is going to go. Would that be after my session, and will people be opportunity to ask questions live, or are there
Yes,
pre-set questions?
yes,
Oh, okay, great. So let's kick off.
yes. It will be after your session. Be after your session, and
Oh,
it will be
okay, great.
projected live.
Oh, this is amazing. So let's start by defining what employability is, right? So we're talking about an employable graduate. So what is employability? It's a set of achievements, I think, your knowledge, your skills, your abilities, and personal attributes that makes graduates more likely to gain employment and be successful in their chosen occupation. Now, I kind of like this definition because it is very encompassing. One, it talks about the elements, what we call elements in economics: your knowledge, your skills, your abilities, and your personal attributes. Then it talks about being likely to gain employment and being successful. So you can gain employment and not be successful, right? I know people that started out their career in nice firms, but because they are not developed capacity for those companies, they struggled in the first few months of their career, right? And then the concluding part of the definition talks about how this benefits themselves, the workforce, and the economy. Now, I went on to say that means that employability is then a continuous commitment towards developing your knowledge, skills, and ability that will strategically position you for career enhancing opportunities. So that means that to be employable, right, you have to continuously develop your commitment towards your knowledge, skills, and ability. Because if you think about it, what do employers pay for? They pay for value, right? They pay for solutions, they pay for the extra additional problem solving skill that you bring to the table. And I kind of like the picture I used at the end. Like after you graduate, now what? Are you Dangote's daughter or $10 daughter? That's what job will be waiting for you. The takeaway from this is that we should realize that being employable really is being committed towards the continuous development of our knowledge, skills, and ability. Because it is this development that will strategically position us for career enhancing opportunities. Now, I have this very nice diagram here, and it kind of just sums up what I think employability is about. So, your knowledge, your skills, your ability, and your visibility. I was going to ask, why did you think I made visibility yellow? So I was trying to depict light, right? Because you can have the knowledge, you can know a lot of things, you can be able to do a lot of things, you can have the ability to do a lot of things, but if people do not see that you can do these things, opportunities are going to pass by you repeatedly. So visibility is a very pivotal element to being employable. Knowledge is important, skills is very important, ability is very, very important. But your visibility, how visible are you, right? To the right people, to the right network, to the right industry leaders is very pivotal to how you can be employable. And I'll probably talk more about that as I proceed. Okay, so let's talk about knowledge, right? I like the picture I used there, a lady very focused on what she's studying and all that. It is very important. I mean, we've heard this and we think that it's cliche, but I heard someone say the beautiful things about cliche is that they're actually true. It's just because we've said them over and again, so they tend to lose value. As an undergraduate or a recent graduate, it is very important that you know something about everything and everything about something. So take a step back. Say you're an economics student, or you're a law student, or you're an accounting student. So if you're a law student, what else do you know outside law? Can you talk about technology and law? Can you talk about sports and law? Can you talk about the world economy? Can you talk about Nigeria economy? Can you talk about US elections? Joe Biden and Donald Trump had their first electoral debate. Can you talk about it? Do you know who Joe Biden is? Do you know who? Okay, everybody knows Donald Trump, right? Because almost everybody's on Twitter. Please drop a message in the chat box. Let me know you are following and let me know I'm audible. Thank you. So, as an undergraduate, it is actually very important that you know something about everything and everything about something. So, everything about something is that thing that you are specialized in. So, if you're an economic student, you should be able to talk about, economic laws, demand and supply, what is happening to the MPC, MPR, interest rates. But it is also nice that you're able to say a bit about other things. So, read articles about different things that interest you. Read about sports, read about BBN, read about whatever is going on in the world that you're very interested in, right? That is like a first step to, building your knowledge. And then the second point I noted here is deliberately deposit in your bank of knowledge every day as it aligns to your potential career path. And I want to kind of explain this a bit. So it is very important. Say you're a part 2 student, a part 3 student, a part 4 student, a part 5 student, that every day you are learning something that aligns with your career path. I have a friend, his name is Akitunde Agumpiade. Yeah, that's his name, right? He runs a platform, and I'm still going to get to platform. He runs a platform called DigiLaw. So from the name, DigiLaw is like digital and law. And what the platform is about is really about learning how the legal implications of some digital processes and the digital did I say the digital implication of some legal processes. So a practical stuff, an article I read on the blog before was about how we know Elon Musk is doing electric car, right? So imagine this scenario. An electric car or an automatically driven car hits a person at a junction. So there's a junction, a traffic light, and someone crossed on red, and the electric car hits the person. Now, the person crossing on red should not have crossed on red. That's illegal. But the electric car has been programmed that, you can only move when the traffic light is on red or on gray or something like that. The electric car has been programmed to obey the traffic light. But there was this impatient Nigerian that did not obey the traffic light, and the electric car hit him. Who are they going to sue? Those are questions that people are not asking, and those are the kind of articles that this guy writes on his blog. Now, why did I mention that? When I was conversing with him, I had a short conversation with him. He told me that every day he reads an article about artificial intelligence, about digital technology, about digital law, and things related. That means that every day he adds at least an article to his wealth of knowledge as far as his career path is concerned. I mean, he's in law school, he's not even practicing or anything yet. But if you converse with him, you will know that this guy has deliberately built his bank of knowledge. So what are you interested in, right? There are a lot of things in this world. I mean, gone are the days when we had to be engineers or doctors or lawyers to blow. There are a lot of honest fields right now. I mean, you will hear things. You talk to me like, what do you do? Like, I'm a private debt specialist. I remember the first time I saw private debt was in a novel, distress debt, right? I didn't know that there was something called distress debt in my life until I read it in a notebook. So there are a lot of fields. There is, you talk to people there, you say they are risk mitigation analysts. What do you do in risk mitigation and things like that? So being deliberate about learning this different career path and adding something, depositing in your bank of knowledge is very important to positioning you as a distinct employable graduate. Okay, I don't know how long I have sound to run. Next thing, stay abreast of information and innovations happening in your interested path. And I'm emphasizing on your interested path, on your career path, because it is very important that you know these things, right? Yeah, sometimes we don't know what we want to do at different points in time. Sometimes you might start out as a science student and end up with an investment banking division of a firm, right? But it is always ideal, right? That's the word, ideal, to gather knowledge, because it is the knowledge that you gather, it is the information that you gather, it is the innovation that you follow that helps shapes your interest. And I probably will be sharing my personal experience along the line. And then the last point for now is absorb, share, absorb, share. We should be rivers, not reservoir. I was going to ask you to say that out and then type it in the comment section, right? Another thing I've noticed is that like we soak a lot of knowledge, but we do not share. And then if we do not share this knowledge, people will not know what we know. That is one. Two, there is so much advantage that we can do to people that when we share our knowledge that we do not know. So in your head, you know about something, but to you, it's just another thing. But you realize that by the time you share these things, you realize that a lot of people do not know these things. I wrote a funny article on LinkedIn, not even anything career related or anything. I think it was about psychological biases. And then I used real time experiences, right? I talked about how people, the bias that made people contribute for Eureka, if you're following BBA. I talked about like a lot of biases. And then I realized that even popular people, extremely intelligent people, did not know this thing. And me, I was just Googling, type of biases. And then I think I had like 4,000 or 5,000 views on LinkedIn just about writing. Like I didn't use my brain, I'm telling you guys, because what I did was to Google type of biases, type of psychological biases, and I read about them. And I literally, creatively shared what I learned on Google on LinkedIn. So it is very important that as you are absorbing knowledge, you are sharing knowledge. A recap of this slide will be: know something about everything. Deliberately add to your bank of knowledge every day. It is very important. Stay abreast of information. Don't let someone ask you a question and you are thrown off guard. Forget what they are teaching in school. Okay, no, don't go to. Please don't forget what they are teaching in school. But like, just be aware of what is going on in your environment. What makes people smart is really information, right? Being able to filter information, analyze information, and absorb what is useful to you. And then lastly, share information. It is very important. I'm very sure that you guys reached out to me or knew that there was a guy called Emmanuel because I'd probably shared that information somewhere or had a session with some people, and then you felt, oh, Emmanuel can't talk about this. So, guys, it is very important that you share information. Are we still together? Please leave a comment. Let me so that I'll be able to follow. Thank you.
Yes, sir, we are still together. We can hear you clearly and we are following.
Okay, great. Thank you. Now I don't feel like a robot anymore. Okay. Okay, so let's talk about skills. Now, skills are overhyped, they are over abused, they are over everything. But I'm telling you guys that skills are important. Now, I divided them into soft skills and hard skills, right? And then we know all these soft skills. I don't want to spend my time trying to explain. We know the importance of communication, we know the importance of working in a team. We know the importance of sitting down and being able to analyze, right? And how do you and I put this picture of Microsoft Office, and I'll tell you a story about it. But how do you develop these skills? Join organizations. Being a member of JCI Unibe now, you guys have probably learned some things. I don't know if it was Elijah I was telling or Sheyu Body, that I've never heard about StreamYard in my life. I mean, I know Google Meet, I know Zoom, I know Teams. Which other one do I know? Like, I know a couple of things, but when they came and said, Emmanuel will be using StreamYard, I had to go and Google, please, what is StreamYard? Do you understand? So all these things, right? we trivialize them. I was having a conversation with a recruiter is trying to poach me for his company, right? And I was having a conversation, and he was telling me that, see, the former person in that role, the first challenge was she could not use Microsoft 365, no jokes. So she didn't know how to set up meetings on Zoom, on Teams. She didn't know how to, like similar things that you think that they are easy. And I'm not even joking. I didn't know how to use Zoom until 2 months ago. I literally had to go to Google and type Google how to use Zoom, how to set up meeting on Zoom. I'm not joking, guys. So we don't pay attention to these things. I mean, we are brilliant. Remember, I've talked about knowledge, right? So we've acquired all the knowledge. We are the smartest guy. We can talk about Nigeria Stock Exchange. You can recommend stock. You know when a stock is rising, when a stock is dipping, when market is shrinking. So I'm using finance. I'm using finance because I know a lot of people are in finance. So if you're a law person, right, you can talk about the latest legal development. You can talk about karma, the changes in karma. Please drop your department in the chat box so that we'll be able to use illustrations across all boards. But you do not have these skills, and these skills are very important. Maybe I should share a story. My first post school interview, like the first interview I would do after school. So, like after school, I graduated on Sunday. I started working on Monday, right? So I literally didn't do interview for my first job. I got it through a competition. But the first time I had to do an interview in my life was with a multinational. I won't tell you guys the name. So I've done the interview, as a badass that I have. I have told them, blah, 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 this. They were feeling my vibes, everything. They're like, okay, you've done well, but this role requires that you're able to use Excel. Can you use Excel? I said, yes. They said, so rate yourself over 10. I've learned that never in this life should you give yourself big bags. So I said 5. So they gave me they opened a system in front of me, boom. Started the system. Okay, do some. I did some. Do average. I did average. What else did they ask me to do? I can't even remember. Maybe might sales, something, all those basic things. That's how they say I should do VLOOKUP. People of God, I have never seen a function called VLOOKUP in my life. I was just looking like Lucozade, And that was like the end of the interview for me. Not because I didn't do well. I did very well. But there was someone else that also maybe did not even do as much as I did, but could use Excel, could do all the abracadabra on Excel. Now I can use Excel very well, praise God. But what I'm saying is that, see, guys, I remember the last time I went to OAU and they said, oh, what is your final word for undergraduate? I said, anywhere they are doing training on Excel, PowerPoint, and Word, just go. There are some things on Microsoft Word that I did not learn like till I started working. I'm like, wow, how do you do this on Microsoft Word? Guys, if you know what you can do on Microsoft Word, I'm not even talking about Excel or PowerPoint, you'll be totally surprised. So pay attention to these things, learn them, be able to weave all the magic on Excel, be able to do PowerPoints that will look like graphics. Please, not these whack PowerPoints like my own. Be able to, draw charts, do table, do statistical analysis. I built a payroll model. I built a model, not a payroll model, in February or March. And when I was done, I was proud of myself because I knew what my Excel was, and then I knew where I am with Excel now, right? So, guys, soft skills, hard skills, they are very important. Before I wrote something like half a PDP. It's not People Democratic Party. PDP means Personal Development Plan. So your personal development plan can be read a book on law, read 10 articles on intellectual property law, watch 2 YouTube videos on ADR. If you're a finance person or you're an HR person, your personal development plan can look like read 2 HR blogs per week, watch a YouTube video on recruitment and selection. All these things matter a lot. I put here watch movies and shows. There are some movies that can boost your knowledge sporadically. I know a lot about law today because I've watched Suits from the beginning to the end 2 times. If you're a finance person and you have not watched Billions, like I don't know what you're doing. Do you understand? So there are some movies. If you're a medical student and you have not watched Grey Anatomy, I don't know for you. Do you understand? So all these things are relaxing, right? But you realize that you're learning so much from watching movies, play games. If you're a finance person, play Monopoly, be able to play Monopoly very well. Play chess. All these things stimulate you intellectually. And that's why I would say that learning is beyond traditional means. I mean, so in Nigeria, we boxed up to, la cam la pour. Read your lecturer's notes, write it back the way they give you. But there is so much way we can learn, and we should explore all these things. Guys, it is not important to know alone. You have to have these skills. They are very, very important, right? I want to run. Are we still together? Please leave a comment. Please let me know if we're still together.
We're still together, sir. I can hear
Great.
you.
Okay, right. So abilities. So I've talked about knowledge. I've talked about adding to your bank of knowledge, deliberate addition, right? I've talked about skills, about how little things that we don't pay attention to, like Excel, like PowerPoints, like being able to use Zoom. Like now, I can boldly say I know how to use StreamYard, right? Like being able to use Teams and all those really minute things can actually position you strategically. The next thing I want to talk about is abilities. And my first point here, I said start and execute project. Fascinating project. This event that you decided to host, that your team, your brilliant team came up to host, is a project. When you are done, you can write it on your CV that you had a virtual training, not even physical now. Because like I was telling someone, doing the virtual stuff is now stressful. It's more stressful than the physical stuff. Even though a physical event is more expensive. Because you have to be praying in terms that Blue will not disappoint you. I'm very sure that you guys were praying today. Hey, MTN or whatever network or broadband you are using will not disappoint you, right? Pick up a project and start. Plan an event. Plan a conference. When I was in OAU, I had like friends, 3, 4 friends. They just come together and say they want to do one workshop. All you have to do is invite people, raise funds, and boom, you have a workshop, right? Do a match for cleaner environments, match for green environment, but clean your school. Say you want to do cleaning awareness, do sexual awareness, do female genital mutilation, all those things. Just really start and execute a project. I wrote here that university is a playground. Now, why do I say this? You will learn, you will make mistakes, you will work with teams, but all these things are going to develop your capacity. By the time you get to the real world, right? When they say, oh, we have this project to execute, you will not be scared because you've done something similar in school. You failed or you did not fail, you've succeeded, you've learned your lessons. So you know what it means to have a project flow or a process flow. You know what it means to divide your project into milestones and stuff like that, right? So all these things kind of just stretches your ability, and that's what distinguish the few from the many, the men from the boys, like we used to say, right? The next thing, participate in competitions. They stretch you. Now, there's something about competitions I love. I mean, I was in school, I think I did a lot of competition. The beautiful thing about competition is not even winning, right? And I used to tell anybody, either I'm a participant or, I was a judge or I was just a supporter or a fan. The beautiful thing, and I'm very sure that you guys can testify if you have participated in competition before, is that you are not the same as you were when you started that competition. Even if you get eliminated at the first round. Why? Because before that competition, you probably did not know a lot about the competition. So maybe let me be real. When I was in school, I used to be in debates, right? One of the most outstanding debate I did was is it will SDG become a reality by 2030? Something like that. So I think that was in 2015, and MDG had just ended, and they had just UN had just modified MDGs to SDGs. I hope that you guys know this. There was MDG, Millennium Development Goals, before SDG, right? So, but the debate was something about, will SDG be realistic, looking at the fact that MDG was a failure. And before then, I did not know Jack. I had to research, I had to read online, check metrics. And I'm telling you, everything I know, my interest in SDG today is still sustained on the foundation of the fact that I did a debate when I was in part one, and it was about SDGs. Another one, there was one debate that I went for, I think it was monetary policy. I can't even remember it. Yeah, ECHO. So ECOWAS was proposing a new currency, and the debate topic, it wasn't really a debate. I can't remember if it was a debate or a paper presentation challenge. But the whole idea was ECOWAS is a single currency for ECOWAS a realistic solution to the financial crisis of West Africa? Guys, the knowledge I gained about West Africa economy there was massive. Until now, I can say a lot of things about ECOWAS, about West African countries, because of the fact that I participated in that paper presentation challenge. There are a lot of them. I put CFA Institute Research Challenge here. I did a lot of graduate of UDB that have done CFA. There is Unilever Idea Trophy. There is CFO. There is Access, blah, blah, blah. Participate in competitions. They stretch you. They stretch your abilities. So if you are someone who is interested in learning Hi, can you hear me? Am I back? Hello. Hi, Elijah. Hi, Chidima. Can you guys hear me?
What you want to buy? Different, please.
Hi, guys. Am I still audible?
Yes, I can hear you. It was just a brief hitch.
Oh, okay. Okay, great. So I had the call. So the last
Yes,
point
you
I'm
are
going to talk about.
audible. You are audible.
Okay, great. So the last point I'm going to talk about here is really visibility. How do you optimize your social media platforms to promote what you know? Remember the point where I talked about absorbing and sharing knowledge. I know, they talk about processes and learning and everything, but guys, it is very important that you are visible. I have a friend, his name is Sage. You probably know him or not. We used to call him Sage of Oxford. He said that, these scriptures that they used to quote, he that is diligent in his work will stand before kings and not mere men, right? He said that it is he that is diligent in his work and the king sees that will stand before king, right? That means that you might be diligent in your work and then the kings will not see that you are diligent. And so it is very important that you are visible, right? So what do you do with your Instagram? What do you do with your Facebook? I don't know if people still use Facebook. What do you do on your LinkedIn? Did you just open your LinkedIn and abandon it? Optimize your social media platforms. Guest right for popular blogs. So if you are lazy and you are too lazy to post, or you are too lazy to have a blog or platform, or it doesn't interest you, there are established platforms, right? I am like the operations manager for a particular tax platform, Taxville. You can check them out for any tax related articles. And recently we realized that, oh, do you know what? We want to stretch our hands to others, and we invited people to guest write for us. In fact, now we are moving to videos. We want people to do like 3 to 5 minutes video on their related topics, just showcasing them to the world using our platforms, right? So, guest write for popular blogs. There is Lawyered, there is Nairametrics. There are a lot of blogs that you can guest write for. Put your work out there. The world needs to see your brilliance. Remember, it is the diligent man that the king sees that will stand before the king. So I'll do a quick recap before I move on. One, I talked about knowledge, right? And I talked about the need to know something about everything and everything about something. Also, I talked about the need to continuously deposit in your bank of knowledge. I talked about skills. I talked about soft skills and hard skills, about your communication, interpersonal skills, analytical skills. I talked about watching movies and shows that actually increase your intellectual awareness. I talked about learning how to use basic stuff. This week, I plan to take a course on Microsoft 365, just a refresher course. There are a lot of free courses. Know how to use Zoom, know how to use Microsoft Teams. These basic things matter a lot. Now, I'm talking about abilities. Take up random projects in school. Come together with smart friends. plan a project and execute it. I mean, nobody is going to shoot you or kill you. It is your project. If you fail, you fail. If you pass, you pass. If you do well, good. If you don't, you learn your lessons, right? The university is a playground. Participate in competitions. Competition stretches your ability. Participate in CFA, CFO, Unilever Trophy, any reputable competition associated with a reputable company. I mean, another addition to that, and note that I've not even talked about, CV, cover letter, and things like that. All these things, right? They are things that you can put on your CV. So even if you are, as an undergraduate, you didn't get an internship because of village people, doing competitions, internal competitions, external competitions are good things that you can put on your CV. Different projects that you started and executed are things that you can put on your CV. And from an HR perspective, right? Okay, so you guys have heard that I'm an HR person and all that. What this shows a recruiter is that, okay, this person did not intern in school, but this person participated in a competition and came second or third. That means that he or she is smart. This person did not intend, right? But this person organized a march for green or green environment or yes, it's sickle cell awareness month. Yes. So you can do something like that. Do a sickle cell awareness in your school. Medical awareness for sickle cell. Sickle cell is not condemnation to death, blah blah blah. Just a walk, 20, 50 people. These are things that first develop your capacity. Second, shows you as someone who has the ability to start and execute projects. And I'm ending this on the note of visibility. It is very important, guys, that need the world sees your brilliance. Conclusively, yeah, so these are some faces that you guys know or you guys don't know. I know Nene finished from Uniben, and I know Olanike Salah finished from Uniben. So everybody here, they are all my friends. And the point here is grow locally, grow globally. The beautiful thing about developing capacity is that, how do I explain this? See, an economics graduate is an economics graduate anywhere. Financial modeling is financial modeling anywhere. Payroll model is payroll model anywhere. Do you understand? So there are some skills that when you have them, when you own them, you become naturally scalable as far as any country is concerned. So it's very important that you grow your skills locally to give you international platforms to operate. So I mean, Nene interned with Bank of America. Jackson is the guy wearing pink. Jackson is a graduate of UI economics. He has interned with Bank of America. He has interned with Goldman Sachs, and now is going to Goldman Sachs permanently as a full-time analyst. You guys know Olanike Salau, worked with SEO Africa, worked with International Finance Corporation. That's like the finance arm of the World Bank. And now is doing well in the investment world, right? These are people that you know. I mean, these people, I'm not trying to shade school. If you are here, you're for Babcock or Covenant. But like these are guys that went to the kind of universities that we went to, OAU, UI, Uniben. My friend, Tolokwe Dada, she's the one like at the right corner. She has interned with Bank of America. Is it Bank of America or Goldman Sachs? I can't remember. Goldman Sachs, and then now she's going back as a full-time analyst. Maybe I should even tell you something interesting about Tolokwe Dada, since I was talking about competition. As I went, Tolokwe Dada was in part two. Tolokwe Dada was already mooting in front of the International Court of Justice as a part two law student of OAU. They went for a competition that OAU that was not in OAU's curriculum, right? I can't even remember. This is space law or air law or something. A competition that OAU did not have the curriculum for. No federal university had the curriculum for that course. And they went for a competition in that. They came first in Nigeria, they came second in Africa, and then they went to the world, competed with students from Harvard, Oxford, everything, and came third. So imagine that you have been doing that kind of international competition since your part 2, part 3 days. Trust me, I want you scale globally. Do you understand? So guys, the world needs solution providers, right? And we can only provide solution when we develop skills, when we deliberately seek knowledge, when we demonstrate our abilities, when we show the world what we can do. I want you guys to know that there are jobs in Nigeria. I'm on this finance group, and some members here, some members of JSI Unipen are there. And every day they're always posting opportunities. Guys, I used to wish that I was in finance, so that I would be able to do this financial burden and all that. There are jobs. There are jobs. The challenge, the question then is, do you know? Do you have the knowledge? Do you have the skills and abilities to do this job? Remember, I started for my first slide talking about the fact that being employable is then a continuous commitment to development of your knowledge, skills, and abilities. And I do not want you to forget that. It is very important. I finished my 69th book of the year. Um, what's the title? Give me a second. Let me show you the book. So, like the title of the book is Carl Newport, So Good They Can't Ignore You. And I think that you should read it. I have the soft copy. I don't know if you guys can see it. Can you? Hey, my network is shy. Okay. Can you guys see my book? I don't know if you can see it. But like the title is So Good They Can't Ignore You by Carl Newport. You can type it in the box.
I
So
can
good.
see it.
Yeah, so good they can't ignore you by Carl Newport. I think everybody should read the book. Everybody. It talks about how, they say follow your passion, and that's a good advice. But how your skills and capacities can position you for opportunities career-wise. So he called it a career capital. So he believes that you can develop your skills, you can deliberately acquire knowledge that will act as a capital for you, and you're able to cash on to get a good job. See, guys, there are no jokes about it. I am where I am today. I am like I used to tell myself, like, my current earning, right? I am earning that because I am too lazy to develop myself to the next level, or because I have not positioned myself, or I'm not visible to some level of people. And there are some things that I know that if I get the right people to employ me, they will pay me maybe times five of what I'm earning today. And that is just me. Every day I'm always telling myself, hey, Emmanuel, you are lazy. Emmanuel, you need to read more. Emmanuel, you need to connect with people more. And that is honestly the truth. Like I said, there are jobs, guys. There are jobs. Do not let anybody tell you that there are no jobs in Nigeria. I mean, even mathematically, think about it. They said that unemployment rate is 23 point something percent. So let's say unemployment rate is even 30%. What they are trying to say is that 3 out of 10 people do not have a job. So why should you be part of those 3 that don't have a job? Why can't you be part of the 7 that has a job? Do you guys understand? So guys, I don't know how best to end this session. I'm always very passionate when I'm talking about the graduates because there are a lot of things that I didn't know when I graduated. Maybe I was starting learning Excel since part 1. If I knew that it was Excel that would not make me get my first job with a very good paying company. So I'm always very passionate when I talk about the graduates because I think you guys still have, even if it's just one semester, or 1 year, some people will be watching this and they're just even in their part 2 or part 3. You have so much time to, like I told my younger brother, try and fail. So you can try a lot of things and fail. You can try financial modeling and fail. You can try law and fail. You can try a lot of things and fail, right? But it is very important that you deliberately pay attention to your knowledge, pay attention to the skills you are developing, and pay attention to your abilities to actually execute things. It is very, very important, guys. Very important. And that comes to the end of my session. Remember, every job is a self portrait of the person who did it. Autograph your work with excellence. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm clapping, and I'm sure I can see virtual claps in the comment section. Thank you so much. I actually picked a whole lot of things, yeah? Yes, I picked things. Know something about everything and everything about something. I think that was the first thing that just really struck me. Yeah. And yes, you're a fan of Suits. I am too. I am too.
Oh,
Thank you so
nice.
much. You really, really appreciate. So this is we are going quickly to the question and answer session.
Okay.
The questions will be popped on the screen right now. Yeah, you will see the questions and you just get to answer. Thank you very much.
Okay, good.
Yes. And can I say this? I loved the way you were really free, the ease with which you were talking. That was it for me.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So the questions are coming in now. You should see them pretty soon.
Okay, is it where I'm seeing Uniben JC, JCI, ITB?
Yeah. That place. The questions will pop up there shortly.
Okay, I love your hashtags, by the way.
Thank you. Okay, I'm guessing it's like a hitch in the network, but
Are there people who want to ask questions live? Are there people in the comments in the chat? Maybe while we wait for that.
yes, I think there are persons there.
Okay, so you could maybe they could drop their questions while we wait for this.
Okay, let me get some questions. Okay, I think I have some questions here.
Okay, great.
Just read. I'll just read them. I'll just
Okay.
read them.
Oh, someone, I'm
Okay,
seeing
there's
a
a
question
question here.
from, okay, Shegun Labi. Kindly share us how you became who you are, where I started from. Okay, interesting. Yeah, so this is a personal question. I'm guessing you want me to tell like my whole story from an undergraduate to, yes. So excuse me, guys. My name is Emmanuel Faith. I'm a human resource professional. I worked with General Electric till last month. And I'm presently working as an independent HR consultant with Opinion Consult. I have my background in economics, and I did not start out from there. So maybe I should tell a bit of story. One, I wrote jump 3 times, since you're asking me to tell me where I am. So I wrote jump 3 times. I passed jump, by the way. Oh, you did hear me, right? So jam did not jam me. I actually passed jam and I passed for CMA too. But I didn't know that OAU did not accept a particular subject I was writing for the course I wanted to study. So it was the third time that I discovered that OAU does not accept commerce, and I've been writing commerce because I really loved commerce. So that's how I got economics. Why did I have to tell that story? I did not set out to study economics, right? I wanted to study accounting because my accounting teacher in secondary school said that I was very good in accounting. I think I won best in accounting like in my SS2 or my SS3. So that's how I got economics. And I got into economics part one. Now, if you are not a student, part one is always fun because part one you do courses around. You only have one departmental course. And so life was good, right? And then part two came when I started taking departmental courses. I will pass all the courses I took outside my department, I will pass very well. But the economics courses, I will fail. So my CGPA, my portal looked like 87A, 86A, 72A, 40E, 44E, 46D. And then the E and these were from my economic courses. Why? Because I was not extremely good in maths. And then if you're in economics, you know, economics is maths. And so that happened. And part three, I got really frustrated. And okay, backtrack a bit. In part two, I participated in elections. So I became an executive in my department and in my fellowship. Then in part three, because I was frustrated about my grades that I could not cross, I started participating in competitions, right? So debates, I wrote economic papers because I was getting frustrated about the fact that everything we were learning were just mathematics and theories, a lot of statistics. They looked so abstract, right? So everything I tried to do was how can this abstract thing I'm learning become reality? I remember that I took a course in economics, monetary economics, and I literally wrote a monetary paper, a paper examining Nigerian monetary policy. That paper was like 12 pages. I went to present it at a national economic conference in, I can't remember, Odo. I can't remember. So the whole idea was I was doing all these things outside my economics because economics was frustrating me. Then part four, I left economics. I joined tax club. Now in my school, I don't know if Uniben has a tax club. In my school, tax club is for faculty of law students. So I was like the only economic student in faculty of law and in tax club. Now joining tax club kind of exposed me to other things that law guys did. So you see me at ADR events, you will see me at IPL events. ADR, by the way, means alternate dispute resolution. It's one of the ways of legal processes. You see me at IPL, intellectual property law. So a lot of people did not know that I was not even a law student, right? So by the time I was graduating, I was graduating like an all-round graduate. I could talk extremely well about economics related stuff. I could talk extremely well about legal related stuff. I remember that. So let me tell you guys something funny. I got an invitation from a school, a chambers of a school, to come and speak on becoming. I can't even remember something about being maybe a marketable lawyer. And I told the people that I declined the invitation. That, oh, I'm sorry, I just know a lot about law. I'm not a law graduate. And they returned and said, oh, that is why they actually invited me. The fact that I was not a law graduate and then I knew so much about law. Then I used to write a lot of articles on tax law. So that I was that sound, right? Now, why did I mention all this? Remember everything that I've talked about in my slides. I talked about participating in competitions. I did a lot of that. I talked about projects. See, we did a lot of projects in school. We'll come together and say we want to present a paper on this. We'll write a paper, do research, execute. Do you understand? All these things. I was just doing it for the fun of it, right? When I was in tax club, I presented a paper on, hey, what's the title now? Yeah, taxing digital economy using Facebook and Uber. So Facebook is making a lot of money in Nigeria and they were not paying tax. Uber is making a lot of money in Nigeria and they are not paying tax. How can we get these guys to pay tax? I wrote a paper on that alongside some other guys, right? All these things that were developing. Let me tell you guys, my first job after school was from winning a tax competition. Do you understand? So I think I'm answering of who I am, and that's how I started. And then when I joined the tax firm, I realized I didn't like tax so much. I just knew, and that's something else, guys. You can know something and not like it, and that is not a crime. And you can like something and not know about it, and that's not a crime. I'll take that again. You can know something and not like it, and that's not a crime. And you can like something and not know about it, and that's not a crime. What you do, I wish that that can be designed and sent across. What to do in both what you do in both situations is what matters. So I like tax, but I do not want to do tax. As I did, okay, so I know tax, but I do not like tax. Then I like HR, but I do not know HR, and HR is what I'm doing today. Do you understand? So that's literally my career journey. When I joined the tax company, I started writing my CIPM because I realized that I liked HR more than I liked tax. From that tax company, I was already doing personal income tax and payroll management before I found myself in General Electric, where I was doing risk analyst and blah blah blah. Before I moved to the HR department in General Electric, and that is what has built me to who I am today. So that is the end of my story. I hope that you learned one or two things, Shegun Alabi. Thank you for asking.
And I also learned a few things. Okay, we have another question here.
Okay, so how were you able to intentionally isolate myself from numerous distractions faced by undergraduates and position myself the way I did? Very interesting question. So, one, okay, I'm going to be practical. I'm not even going to try to do perspire to acquire. I will not deny the fact that there are distractions. There were distractions, right? And I just told you guys that I had 47D and 44E on a live studio. Hey, I hope that someone in Abad is not watching me and thinks that we're dull students. But so I kind of caught up, maybe I caught up with distraction. But how did I isolate myself? It is really about your community. Who is in your circle? Who is in your circle? I think that your circle plays a lot in who you become today. And again, I'm going to use people that you guys know. So I'm very sure that some people here would know Nene, Olanike Salao, Dennis Kadiri. Hey, they're like 4 or 5 in that circle. I'm always envious of them. These guys started together in school, right? I mean, I didn't meet all of them till I graduated. But these guys started together in school, and I'm not totally surprised about where they are today. And I'm sure that they are not surprised too. I mean, Dennis Kadiri is with one big FMCG, I can't remember. I think AB Bev. Nene is with KPMG. Nike Salah is with an investment firm, and every other guy is in their circle. Because they had been together, there's a way that your circle would, the things you continuously talked about. So, in practical stuff, I did not watch a musical show in my school from part one to part four. And I graduated from OAU, guys. And so, if you finish from OAU, you know that OAU is like a house of show. All the big, I'm not bragging. All the biggest artists came to OAU, maybe except Whiskey and Davido. Every other guy, Q Dot, Brimo, just mention an artist in Nigeria. Okay, maybe they'd see me. Like an average artist in Nigeria that has not come to OAU. So there was, especially in second semester, there was like 6 consecutive weeks that there were shows in my school, and I did not go because I'm not going to be a musician. If I want to listen to them, I can listen to them on Boomplay or Audio Mac or whatever. Why should I go and suffer myself? Go for a show overnight, get tired the next day, and I didn't. Do you understand? So your circle kind of, and I'm not even going to talk about read, face your book, blah blah blah. I'm not even going to talk about all those things. I just think that I have the right circle. I look at my friends today, people that were together in school, Namdi, I'm trying to look at people who are reading together there, and Miriam, Balikis is now with is it Goldman Sachs or Bank of America? Balikis, Muide, those are guys that we used to read together in school. So like I'm not totally surprised. And those guys, they were even more serious than I was, because I mean, me, I was still an executive. I was an executive in fellowship too. They were just book. I'm not totally surprised about where they are today. So how to isolate yourself from distraction? Have the right circle. If your circle is not distracted, you cannot be distracted. I know people that have been applying to Bank of America, to JP Morgan, to Morgan Stanley since part two. Now, it doesn't mean that they got the scholarship, they got the internship, or they didn't. It means that because they had invested in themselves so much then, by the time they were graduating and they were interviewing with AfriInvest, which is God have mercy on me. I mean, I'm not talking about AfriInvest, but like you can't compare AfriInvest application to Bank of America application. So if you've done Bank of America application as an undergraduate and you already got into maybe semi-finals or maybe quarterfinals, maybe one step from SEO, by the time you are graduating and you are interviewing with AfriInvest or Mary Step, it's going to be like you're eating fried chicken and chips. Do you understand? So really, my last word will be have the right circle. I think that when you have a circle that is not distracted, you will not be distracted. Thank you. Okay, and then the next part is how do I position myself? The same thing, right? Attend events, network with speakers, deliberately connect with speakers, follow industry leaders. By the time I was graduating, there were people that were working in reputable companies that I could easily call. If I used to tell people that, even not because I did not want to pursue a career in finance, there were a lot of people that I knew in different finance firms. For a long time, Kemi Akinde of Medicine was my friend. Like different companies like that, right? So build the right relationship, be visible. Since undergraduate, I've been writing economic papers already, so you could imagine like my level of proficiency and excellence in that. So that is how to position yourself strategically. Yeah. Next question, guys. Is my friend still there? Hi, Chidima. Hi, Elijah. Are you guys still there?
I'm here. There's a question on the screen, sir. There's a question on the screen.
Okay. Who doesn't really have clarity on a career path? What steps do you suggest he or she can go to take clarity? Very interesting question. One, take a personality test. I don't know if you guys can type this 16personalities.com. Take a personality test. I'm a big fan of taking personality tests because I think that personality tests can tell a lot about who you are and what you can do. So, one, take a personality test. Two, what did you do as an undergraduate? So, did you volunteer? Did you participate in competitions? I remember I did a podcast for EduBridge Academy a while ago, and I was talking about advantages of interning and volunteering. And one of the things I mentioned was that you should intern because people say intern so that you add to your CV and everything. You should intend to discover what you don't like. So, for example, interning with Meristem as an undergraduate for me made me realize that I didn't like finance. I just knew finance. So, can you try out internships, just random internships? Maybe the person that asked this question, let me ask a question. So, I hope that you are alive. If I was the HR of any company, what kind of company would you love to work with? Write them down. And I do paid career consulting for people, and these are like some questions I ask. So I say, oh, if I'm the HR of any company of your dream, what company would that be? Write down the company. You can write 5 companies. So if you ask me right now, I hope that my recruiter is watching this video. If you ask me right now, Emmanuel Faith, if I'm the HR of any company, where do you want to work with? Number one, the Human Capital Division of Bank of America. Number two, the Human Capital Division of Google. Number three, the HR department of Microsoft. Number four, I really, really want to work with an FMCG. So maybe Unilever or Bank of America, or British American Tobacco or AB InBev, right? So list those companies. That is the first step. Number two, if I was the HR of that department, note, I've said you should write the company that you want to work with. Now, if I was the HR of any of those companies, which department? And so you realize that things like maybe communications, maybe finance. Did you know I've met people that all they want to do in their life is to be a front desk officer? And it is not a bad thing. If a front desk officer at, I don't know, for a reputable place, maybe Oriental Hotel in Abuja, you're probably earning more than an entry analyst in Lagos. I'm not even trying to shade anybody. You're earning more than an entry analyst at GE as a front desk officer in Oriental Hotel. So I'm trying to say that whatever interest comes to your mind, you should not discard it. So if I'm the HR of the company of your dream, what role would you love to be? Now you can come and say, I don't have these skills. See, forget about skills, forget about knowledge and certification. When you realize that this is what you want to do, I remember that I did a paid consulting for someone, and it was after that paid consulting I realized that there's a professional course in customer relations, guys. Professional course. So you can actually go and do a professional course and become a certified customer relations manager. I didn't know that until this year. So, one, take a personality test. Two, do the 2 tasks I mentioned. List 5 companies you want to work with. List at least 3 roles that you think that you'll be interested in if you could get those companies. Then the next thing would then be analyze your knowledge gap. So, what do you need to know to be able to apply for those roles? What skills do you need to have to be able to apply for those roles? And then the last one will be network. Now, search for people in those companies. There is LinkedIn, there is Google. Life is easy. If you see that that person is speaking at one event, attend the event. Either it's virtual, there are people that are connected with. I mean, I attended one event, one virtual event, I think last week. I don't even plan to attend it. I just saw a name that I've been trying to stalk, and I attended it. And this guy, his name is Benga Toto. He's one of the biggest fish in HR space. And he was telling us, right, that there are 2 girls on that call. Now, note, this is a Ghanaian call. The meeting, the event was in Ghana. It was hosted by a Ghanaian. People attending are supposed to be Ghanaians, right? And Jack Benga Toto, he was saying that 2 people, he's sure that 2 people are on this call. Lo and behold, when he checked the list of people on the call, the 2 people were there. Why? Because they have stalked this guy so much that any event that he is speaking, they attend. So you can stalk people like that. And now, how did you know? These people had not even reached out to him. So it was on that call that he actually said those 2 people should reach out to him. And that's how they have free consulting session with this guy. Do you understand? So search for people in those industries, search for people in those spaces. Someone probably finished from the same school you finished from. I mean, one of the silliest thing, and guys, this is a live video. I don't know who watched this. One of the silliest thing I've done on LinkedIn is to go to LinkedIn and say, hello, my name is Emmanuel Fish. I finished from Obafemi University Economics Department. And I see that you finished from Obafemi University Accounting Department. Can we connect this? And I was talking to an MD of a company, no jokes. He accepted my connection, and then we went on talking about, how economic students used to share accounting students and how accounting students used to, fail economics courses. And like, we chat on WhatsApp today. I'm not going to mention his name. He's an MD of a fintech, a very popular fintech. Do you understand? So nothing is impossible. Just follow those processes, right? Analyze your skills, take a personality test, write out the kind of jobs you think you're interested in, write out the kind of companies you think that you want to work with, analyze your skill gap. It is very important. There is a skill gap that I have right now that I'm working on. I've been practicing Excel because I'm trying to build a payroll model. Because for my next, the kind of role I'm eyeing next, I have to be able to build a payroll model. Presently, if you're on my WhatsApp, you'll see that I've been talking about the fact that I want to read some acts, some labor acts. Why? Because the kind of roles I want to apply for next, I should have a very good sound knowledge of labor law. So I'm telling you this so that you know that I'm also developing myself. I'm not there. I'm not earning what I want to earn yet. I'm not at where I want to be yet career-wise. So that you will not see me in suits tomorrow and think that I have it all right. I don't. I was chatting with, and like I mentioned Nene because you guys probably know Nene. I was conversing with Nene a few days ago, and Nene was talking about how she needs to read for her CFA and how she needs to learn a lot of things as far as management consulting is concerned. So even with that, we are out there, yeah, we are still learning, right? We are still trying to develop capacity so that we'll be well positioned for more strategic opportunities better than where we are today. So I hope that answered the person's question. Thank you. How does one fail forward? Very, very nice question. By learning from your failure. And I would recommend that you follow Nenesisi on Instagram. She had a live session on failing forward a while ago. Just go to Instagram, type Nenesisi. You will see her. The important part of failing forward is to learn from your failures. For example, if I go and study economics again, I think I will finish with a first class. Because it was after I graduated I realized that, oh, well, economics was not as hard as I thought it was. So it is very important. When you apply for an internship and you didn't get it, guys, no jokes. I used to pride, I used to pride myself. If you're my friend here, you will know that I'm very good with CV and cover letter and things like that. I read a code mail on Mochivius. I don't know if you follow Mochivius on Twitter. And when I saw that code mail, I'm like, Emmanuel Faith, you're not there yet. Do you understand? So when I saw that code mail, I realized why some code mail I've sent before did not hit the target. Do you understand? So the important part of failing forward is actually to learn from your failure. So you apply for an internship, you didn't get it, but someone else got it. Go and meet the person. Don't be shy. Don't say don't be jealous. Meet the person. Me too, I applied for this internship. What did you do? Can I check your essay? Oh, can you help me? If you are trying to apply again, reach out to the person. Let the person go through your essay. If it's GMAT, let the person teach you GMAT. It is very important that you learn from those that. And when we say those that are gone ahead of you, you used to think about some people 5 years ahead. No, your classmate might have done some things that you have not done, right? Your classmates can do some things better than you can do. So the important part of failing forward is learning from the process of failing. Because if you don't learn from that process, you are going to fail again. I hope I answered that question. How can one stay focused when developing oneself to become employable so as to not get sidetracked when the process seems to get tedious? This is a very honest question. And I really, really, really and truly appreciate the person that asked this question. If I'm tempted to give the person maybe a free career consulting session, if the person can get my details. So, one, have a circle. And maybe because a circle works for me. So maybe I should not say have a circle. Maybe I should say maybe have a friend. For you, it might be have an accountability partner. So I have an accountability partner. Like I have someone that is like my career accountability partner. So she knows what I'm supposed to be doing career-wise at a certain time. I know what she's supposed to be doing career-wise at a certain time. You can have a circle. The advantage of a circle is I saw someone's tweet. He said that you should move with the right people so that nobody will be beefing your success. So like now I can't beef any of my friends' success. So if my friends say, oh, I got back from America tomorrow, I'm like, congratulations, God bless you. If my friends say, oh, they got Goldman Sachs tomorrow, congratulations, God bless you. I mean, why? Because I've not left Nigeria before, but like I've worked with a multinational. And then my dream is that any of my friends should work with a multinational. Naira is crashing. Naira is not a good currency, right? So there's just an importance of circle. So circle stretches you, circle encourages you, your circle pushes you when you are down. That's the first part. The second part is why are you doing what you are doing? Why do I want to become a very sound human resource professional? Why? Um, I bought a book. I don't know if I've given it out or not. The title is Why Ask Why by Simon Sinek or Simon Sinek. You can read it if you are chanced. I read a lot, by the way. That's why I keep mentioning author. When you know your why, there's a way that your why keeps you going, right? So why am I burning my data to have this YouTube live with JCI Uniben? Why did JCI Uniben come together and say, we are tired. We are tired of hearing graduates are not employable. Let us have a session tagged employable graduates. Why? Do you understand? So there's a way that your why keeps you going, even when you're tired. And you can use what works for you. For some people, they write a vision board, put it in front of their reading table, and they are looking at it every day. Some people, is my diary, is their diary. I have my diary beside me right now. I can show you people. Even though it's very old, this is my diary. I look at it anytime I'm down, right? I look at the things that I wrote that I will do in 2020, where I said I will be by January 1st, 2021. I look at my diary every morning just to remind me that, guy, you can't get tired now. Do you understand? So whatever works for you, right? Have a circle, have an accountability partner, write your goals, like the scripture says, and make it plain. I've been looking at your goals every day. Whatever works for you, just make sure that you find that external motivation. Another very uninteresting thing that I do, you can try it or not, is that look at your heroes. So I don't know if you are a guy or a lady. So if you're a lady, I watched, I don't know if you guys know that Beyonce gave a graduation speech recently. I hope that you know what a graduation speech is. So the speech that they used to give when students graduate abroad, like the one like Ibuku Awosika used to give at Covenant, right? So that's a graduating speech. So Beyonce gave a graduating speech recently, and I'm not a fan of Beyonce, right? I don't even listen to her music, but I had to watch that Beyonce speech because it was so honest and vulnerable. And she talked about how she had won 13 awards, but she had been nominated like 59 times and did not win. And we would focus on the 13 awards that she had won and forget that she was nominated 59 times and did not win. Why did I give that? So you can watch the story of your hero, wherever your hero is. One of my heroes is Cristiano Ronaldo. I just love Cristiano Ronaldo. I just like to read about him. I watch football. I read a lot about footballers. This morning, I was still remembering a case of a footballer, and I was trying to apply it to my life concerning a career decision I'm about to make. Do you understand? So that's another thing you can do. Who are your heroes? If it's wrestlers, watch out for them. Watch their story. If it's musicians, watch their story. I mean, I don't know if you guys know Viola Davis or How to Get Away with Murder. If you read Viola Davis' story, whatever challenge you are going through, you will realize that it is nothing. Or Taraji P. Edson, right? Wherever your hero is, read about them. By the time you read their stories, you would be surprised about the challenges they were able to overcome, and you will receive the energy, to focus on your own challenges and overcome them, especially when process gets tedious, as you have said. I hope that my answer was helpful. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. That was really, 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 really helpful. Yes, I'm a fan of Viola Davis too. How to Get Away with Murder. Yes, big fan
Yeah.
actually.
I think we have a lot of fun. Maybe we should connect after this.
Yeah. We sure have a lot to come on. So we are really happy. We are really grateful to you for joining us for teaching us from your wealth of wisdom and knowledge. And from JCI Uniben, we want to say a really big thank you to you. As you can see, there's a certificate of appreciation on your screen.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And well done to you guys. Really, I must appreciate the fact that you guys were able to pull this off. A lot of undergraduates are downcast. Some of them are binging or BBN. I'm not saying no what BBN, please what BBN. But like the fact that you guys are able to come together and pull this off virtually, kudos to you guys. I'm very inspired. If any of you need a recommendation anywhere, just reach out to me. I'm going to write you a recommendation for free.
Yay!
Well done,
Thank
guys. Well
you.
done. Well done. Well done. I'm
Right,
super
sir.
proud of you.
Quickly before you
Yeah.
okay, quickly before you go, please kindly drop your handles, your social media handles, so we can follow you and continue to learn your LinkedIn, Instagram, and the likes.
Oh, okay, great. So my LinkedIn is Emmanuel Faith. I used to say people should follow me before they send me friend requests because, like, when you follow me, you get to see my post. I might not accept your friend request in time. It doesn't mean I will not accept it. I would. Oh, by the
Okay.
way, let me give you guys free tips. So on LinkedIn, when you want to connect with people, do you guys know that you can customize your LinkedIn message? So, for example, if you are trying to connect with me and you say, "Oh, my name is Immaculate," I didn't get the surname, Immaculate Chidema. I attended JCI's event. I will be glad to connect with you. I would accept your request faster than someone that just sent a random request, right? So that's a free tip. That being said, Emmanuel Faith on LinkedIn, G Emmanuel Faith on Instagram and Twitter. And I have a YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube and search for Emmanuel Faith. Even though there's only one post there, but then I'm
Okay.
hoping that I'll be consistent with it. So Emmanuel Faith on LinkedIn, G Emmanuel Faith on Twitter and Instagram, Emmanuel Faith on YouTube.
All right. Thank you again. We'll definitely follow you. So, guys, let's show him some love. I want to see some fire emojis. I want to see virtual claps. I just want to see something. Thank you very much, Sha.
Yeah, thank you guys. I'm very happy to have joined the session. I wish you success in the remaining sessions. Take care.
Thank you. Have a nice day. Have a nice day. Have a nice day.
Yeah, you too. Bye.
All right, guys. All right, guys. Thank you. I'm sure you learned a lot, a whole lot. And we still have more where this is coming from. And by 2 o'clock, we will be having somebody. You should have seen it there. Well, I'm not to say it, but by 2 o'clock, we'll come back here for another mind-blowing session. Till I see you again. Thank you.